Hello traders, welcome to Trade Forex with Gabe. This is Gabriel Ujimada, and welcome to this week's weekly Forex forecast for July 10th to July the 14th. We'll start by looking at the economic calendar for the week to check out what the fundamentals hold for the week ahead. First, on Monday, we will have no high impact news. And going through to Tuesday, almost same, except for GBP, the claimant count change, which I don't believe will affect the market so much. But then on Wednesday, we have about two important news, or three, I think. Yes, we have, first of all, we have interest rate decision from the Reserve Bank of New Zealand, where they're expected to keep rates the same. And then we'll have the core CPI data coming out from the US. And then we have interest rate decision coming out from the Bank of Canada, where they're expected to hike rate. We will see how to trade all of this. There are incredible opportunities available this week, except for these high volatility news. Well, we will be looking at the setups for these pairs. Aside from this, we pretty much have a clear week, except on Friday, where we will see on Thursday again, we have USD core PPI data, which will be coming out. And on Friday, pretty much clear day. So we will be looking especially on how to trade the pairs on Wednesday, and this tends to be some of the best tradable pairs. So let's look at the setup, let's look at exactly the currency strength meters and how these are setting up for the week. You'll find out that opportunities are drying up in the markets when we see most of the pairs reading bearish to neutral or bullish to neutral. It's really potent liquidity is drying up in the market. But I believe before Wednesday, we'll begin to see, or by Wednesday, after the interest rate decisions or those core CPI data, we will begin to see money flow again in the market, okay? But then let's see exactly what this means for us for July 10th through to July the 14th. We have Great Britain pound coming out 2.6, Swiss franc 2.6, and euro scoring 1.2, and we can see the data for the other pairs falling on the negative side of strength meter. To understand this better, as always, we'd like to make a comparative analysis with the previous week. And here we see how this is playing out. We see from the previous week, Great Britain pound gaining some strength from 1.6 to 2.6. And then we have Swiss franc also gaining strength from 2.4 to 2.6. Euro made a leap, neutral leap from 1.2 to 1.2, and then we see how the dollar has just been cycling bearish to neutral to bullish to neutral, and that is within 0.4 scores. We see New Zealand dollar gaining some strength, of course, from negative 1.2 to 0.4, and then we see how Canadian dollar lost strength from 1.2 through to negative 0.5. Australian dollar still maintaining its reign in the negative region, and Japanese yen. I said something last week or for the last 2 or 3 weeks, everyone should be careful how they trade the Japanese yen, because we could have a snapback correction at any moment. And we began to see that happen. If you traded USDJPY last week, which I didn't advise, you see that we're beginning to see those massive corrections. Data coming in from Japan shows we could be seeing an extended correction, okay? So it moved from negative 6.5 through to negative 3.3. And that brings us to a conclusion that the biggest positive to negative net change for the week ahead is Swiss franc, Great Britain pound, and euro. And then we have the Canadian dollar, we have Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar. And yet we have Japanese yen, but I won't still advise anyone to go into this pair for the moment. So let's look at the best setups for the week and how we can trade them. And best trade setups for me for the week, top market setups will be GBP Australian dollar looking to go long. Euro to Australian dollar, looking to go long. Euro to New Zealand dollar, looking to go long, but then we have an interest rate decision on New Zealand, so we will be careful how we trade that prior to the interest rate decision date. Great Britain pound against Canadian dollar, looking to go long. Interest rate decision on Canadian dollar, don't forget. We have Euro against CAD. We're looking to go long, interest rate decision. We have New Zealand to Swiss franc. I'm looking to go short on this. And again, we have interest rate decision on New Zealand. Then Australian dollar, Swiss franc, I'm looking to go short. Canadian dollar, Swiss franc, looking to go short. We have interest rate decision around Canadian dollar. And then Great Britain pound against New Zealand, looking to go long. Again, interest decision on New Zealand. Then interesting setup on pound sterling against United States dollar and euro against United States dollar. We will look at this. It's not coming out top of my pair because for obvious reason, yes, the dollar sold off really high last week, but then we'll look at it. I will try to show you how we can trade the CPI data using these two pairs, okay, because it could go either ways. So I included a bonus trading structure or trading setup on how to go about the CPI data using either Great Britain pound, Euro USD, or using gold, okay? So let's jump in right to the action, going straight to the MT4 charts, yes? And we'll start off with looking at the dollar index. The dollar index, you see from last week with the NFP, non-farm payroll, we saw how the dollar sold off really strong. I believe we could have some correction, then begin to make another sell-off towards the 101.44 level. Now, what does this hold for us? We will see how we are going to use this to trade the CPI data. So let's look at the interesting market setups as just listed in the previous slide. We'll start with Great Britain pound, Australian dollar, GBP Australian dollar. This is it. And we're looking to go long on this pair, yes? Last week, if you traded this pair, very interesting, I believe you should be smiling to the bank. We had nice runoff. We expected price to take off the high here. And it did that, giving us about 140 pips rally to our money. Yeah, we had that quick snap back to our profit target level. And this week, I'm looking again for price to continue that extension towards the 1.9387 level, okay? So you could use this setup because we see pound sterling coming out really strong. Australian dollar is weak. So I believe this rally will continue towards the 1.9387 level. So if you have your trading strategy, you have your entry rules, why not? You can use this information to better your entry and risk to reward ratio. Next, we have Euro Australian dollar. So Euro Australian dollar. Just a moment, let's look for it there. Euro Australian dollar, there you are. Again, we're looking to go long on this. From last week, this was also looked at. We had a sell-off, but then we made a comeback, all right? We were expecting price from here, that's for last week, you know, to rally into our profit targets, which is to take out the last high, but you see, we didn't get this. What we rather saw was a sell-off, but then price came back. But if you know the strategy we used to trade, you would have been really profitable with this, you know, sell-off, and then we made a correction, even if it's back to the exact entry point. But then you see, we even made an extension. So pretty much in our trading accounts, we still had positive results for this. So this week, I believe price should rally up to our expected high, which is the 1.65508 level. Okay. Next on the list is Euro NZD. Euro NZD. Let's look for it there. Euro NZD. There you are. We're looking to go long again, but don't forget there will be interest rate decision. Okay, so you have to be careful how you do this, how you trade this. But then Euro is really strong. I believe my projection is that price will continue to rally, at least on the conservative level. Price should take out this last high. Okay, we've been trading this pair for some time now, really good, and I believe we'll continue to have that rally. Looking at it from the daily time frame, you see how price is really structured to the upside, and I believe with the structure we have for the week, we will still have this rally continuing right to the upside. So again, make your entry. Of course, well, this is not the place to teach all of our strategies. That will be on another video. So this is Euro Euro NZD looking to go long on this pair. To plan that out, we could see price is making that continuous higher lows. All we need now is for price to take out the last high and make a rally towards the upper boundary of this channel. So the structure is still really nice. If you look at it, still pretty much textbook structuring to the upside. So high, low, new high, new higher lows, new higher highs, new higher lows. So we're expecting price to take out this previous high and make it up to this level. So if you're going in on this, you have a potential to reach in about 330 pips. All right. So let's see how that plays out. Next on the list is Great Britain pound against Canadian dollar. So let's look for it. GBPCAD is here. And we did I trade this last week? I think I gave this signal. Yes, I did. So this was a nice rally to the upside. Let's look at how it's structured. So nice setup. We looked at price rallying to take out the last high, okay, because the structure really is to the upside. And price made a smash through from our profit target on last week. So this week, of course, this is overly extended. So I expect to see some correction before we begin to see new rallies to take out the last high again around the 1.7140 level. So please be careful on this. This is a Canadian dollar, and we have an interest rate decision on it. So there could be no really much movement on it before the interest rate decision comes and we begin to see that rally. We still have so much space to the upside. So my conservative target is for price to take out the last high, which is around the 1.71404 level. That's Great Britain pound against Canadian dollar. That's it. Then next we'll be looking at is euro against Canadian dollar. Euro against Canadian dollar. Let's look for it here. Euro against Canadian dollar. Again, we're looking to go long on this pair. Nice setup. This is textbook breakout from a channel up pattern. So as always, we know what the profit target will be. So I'm looking to go long on this. Already we see that nice, really fantastic breakout from here. We see the retest, okay? Breakout, the retest. And then what next we're expecting to see is that price should pull up, rally up to 1.4690 level. So this is coming up top on my list, and I'll be looking to go in on this as soon as the market opens up. So that's Euro Canadian dollar on H4. Next on the list, and don't forget, we have our interest rate decision. I have to keep reminding you that Canadian dollar has an interest rate decision. Okay, next is New Zealand Swiss franc. New Zealand Swiss franc. Just wait. New Zealand Swiss franc. There you are, and I'm looking to go short on this, although we have interest rate decision on New Zealand. But then this is interesting. Let's look at it from daily time frame. Been having that structure again to the downside. New low, new lower high, new lower low, new lower high, and then shouldn't you wonder why we will expect to sell off again towards taking out the last low? So this is an interesting pair. Last week, I expected this to really sell off to our target, but then we made this rally. But if you understand, averaging trading strategy, this will be an interesting place to, this could have given you a quick and a nice recovery to your trade. Okay, so we're selling off to 0.5446 level. Let's see the pip distance on that, just mere 74 pips. All right, interesting setup on New Zealand Swiss franc, looking to go short on it. Australian dollar, Swiss franc will be our next stop. Australian dollar, Swiss franc. Just a moment. There it is. No interest rate decision on this. I'm just looking to go shorts on it. We see that rejection, and of course, we've been pulling and selling off towards the last low, and that is at the 0.5877 level. So looking at it on H4, we expect price, in a case you want to take your entry, so we could set our entry from here. Once price makes a break, all right, you can now take that sell trade towards this, taking the last high as your stop loss level. So assuming we begin to see price descend immediately from here and price breaks out from here. So I'm looking to go short towards this while we look to put our stop loss around this level, okay? How much pip is this? Not so much, just 31 or 32 pips. So this shouldn't be that kind of trade where you expect huge risk to reward ratio. So you have to be really careful how you enter this so you don't leave all of this gap as your stop loss. Do you see? So there is potential for price, to rally up to this level. So that's why I'm showing you exactly where you should look forward to, entering that trade. But if the structure is really structured to the downside, and I expect it to drop much towards the lower boundary of this channel down pattern. So that's Australian dollar, Swiss franc. Next on the list is Canadian dollar, Swiss franc. Let's go there. I remember this pair, really interesting pair. So let's look at it. Canadian dollar, Swiss franc. We had that nice, rally to the upper boundary of this channel. And you see, we have another sweet breakout from this channel. So within a channel, we had a channel, and now we're beginning to see a collapse of that structure. You see, price was unable to break above this high, and it coincided with the upper boundary of this channel down pattern. So nice structure. We're looking forward to, that continuous sell-off. So even if you see a correction after this nice sell-off, that would be an interesting place to get a good risk reward ratio selling off towards the 0.66656 level. And if we see a break below this, ultimately my real target will be towards the 0.6619 level. This pair is really interesting for me, although we have an interest rate decision on Canadian dollar, but I will jump right in on this when market opens. Next on the list is Great Britain pound against New Zealand dollar. GBP NZD is right here, and we're looking to go long on this pair. So here again, last week, last week we looked to go long on this. We had a sell-off, but then price still made it back to our entry. So if you use averaging technique, this would have been good, massive profiting for you. Using any of the robot systems we use. Okay, so you can make use of it, and that will give you a very good averaging trading outcome. Okay, so this week again, we're looking to go long towards the 2.08697 level. So I'm going long on this. GBP NZD pound sterling has been really strong for the week, last week. So, and it's continuing that strength into this new week, July 10th to Friday. Okay, so GBP NZD look to go long towards taking out the last high at 2.0869 level. And then let's look at GBP USD. Don't forget, we began looking at NZD, the dollar index, and seeing how it sold off. So with the core CPI data coming out, it could go any direction. So we'll first look at, in a case core CPI comes out weaker, how do we trade it? So starting with Euro USD, I will look to go long if core CPI data comes out weaker than expected. All right, already we see this is a nice pennant, a falling wedge pattern, okay? It's a falling wedge pattern. I expect some correction, then price continuing to rally up. But, for me, I trust channel patterns even more. So if we are going to trade this using line charts, we already are at that point of breakout. You see that? We're already at the point of breakout, and any breakout, once core CPI data comes out and we see a breakout from this channel, then the profit target is at least to this level, taking out the last high, and price could extend to give us to touch the upper boundary of the channel. So this is for core CPI data coming out weaker than expected. But then if core CPI data comes out stronger, okay, we have another alternative there, which is Great Britain pound against United States dollar. So this trade, I've been calling on this trade for some time, where we saw price breaking out from this major high. And I said, okay, let's expect price to sell off, to the breakout point, touching previous resistance, now turning support. And you see exactly, although we had a little bit more of an extension here, but you see that is exactly what is playing out. So price has made a retest of this, and we see price making new rallies. Okay, so let me take this out. Just a moment. Delete selected. All right, so right now I expect price to make new rallies up to 1.2969 level in a case we see a weaker CPI data. But then, what if the CPI data comes out stronger? I will look then to trade gold. Gold has a better outlook, to sell, to short, seeing we've had consecutively, price has been unable to break above the 2074.75 level on gold. So if CPI data comes out stronger than expected, then I will be looking to go short on gold. This will be my best outlook into the week. So you could take any target for your for your own using your own discretion. All right, but I will expect price to at least take a dive towards the 1811.07 level. So that's the last pair for the week. I wish you all a successful trading week, and don't forget to take into good consideration your risk exposure and your account sizing as you trade these wonderful opportunities. If you like this video, why not share it to a friend? Make a comment. We'd like to have feedback from you. And don't forget to subscribe. It means a lot to us. Thank you for subscribing to Trade Forex with Gabe. Until next week, do have a fantastic week ahead. Bye.